Alrighty, so we're going to start round 2. We did not have a satisfactory first round as we did not get any red mana. However, we did get some deck tech. We noticed that he did not have a whole lot of dual lands or fetch lands or shock lands. So that's why we're taking out the Blood Moons. He may have some other types of lands we may want to address in game 3, but for now, when we fight against red, they normally use basic lands. They only need 1 or 2. So we're going to actually take out all our land destruction. We're going to leave our ramp in place, but we're going to take out the land destruction and replace it with Feed the Clan to try and ramp his damage. Thrun for a blocker, and Dismember in case he's got any bigger creatures we haven't seen yet, and Sudden Shock to try and keep ahead, as well as board sweepers like Anger of the Gods, although we have to make sure that we don't hopefully wipe out our own board as well. And just Relic of Virginis because that's card draw. And basically we just need to match what we're taking out. And that's what I'm doing.
I'm not terribly sure what my opponent's playing.
I had an advantage as far as speed. It looked like he was trying to set up a couple of things, so I may have more of the advantage towards speed in my game. So I'm cutting out some of my more long-term mid-range pieces, Dorian, and cards, but it requires more setup. Abbot Hero Keep is more mid-range drop rather than early drop. Prowess, it's not the early game that Sphere is. It's more about generating more card advantage to trigger more prowess triggers off. Existing Abbots or existing Spears. And John Your Temple, I'm still building around with this deck. I'm still testing some things. I had discard as a mechanic in it, especially with Wonder Chandras that you saw in the first match. But I've kind of shied away with it, tried different things. So I'm going to swap out sideboard with my other pieces. Hydor Battlement, just more haste, more speed. Hydor Garrison, flip meld capability is something that to deal with it. We're going to deal with 3 more creatures coming at them, and it can come out of nowhere and really take over a game. Even if attacking with Hydor Garrison with 2 extra dudes is a pain in the butt. And Goblin Dark Dwellers is pretty self-explanatory. 4 body with a flashback of 3 drop or less. Castle. So pretty no-brainer. Speed up the game a little bit and see where it goes.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Second Chance MTG. We got more Modern for you. We had Aaron take game 1 in a pretty furious loss by our Ponza player, Mike here. So what do you think, Alex?
I think that the matchup is interesting. It seems though Aaron's deck is kind of operating on multiple axes. There's 1 mana card as well as 4 and 5, 6 mana cards in his deck. So I'm a little interested to see Mike taking out his land destruction in game 2. It seems like it would be a potent way for him to keep him off the 4 mana cards and above. But we'll see. Mike is clearly experienced enough playing this deck that I will have faith that he has a good plan going into this game 2. Though again, Aaron's deck is not the stock list at all.
It's pretty self-explanatory.
Looks like we have some Chain Lightnings and Chandras in Aaron's hand. We're going to see if he's going to keep that. It looks like he is, actually.
Yeah, we have a couple Lightning Bolts, Chandra, some lands.
Oh, those Lightning Bolts and Chain Lightnings.
Yeah, and it looks like Mike's taking another mulligan. We're going to hope that his mulligan in this game is better than the last game. Again, the Ponza deck typically is not the best at mulliganing. It typically needs a lot of resources in order to get ahead in the game. So we'll hope that Mike's mulligan to 6 is at least functional.
What's that in his hand? I wish we could see his hand a little bit better, but
it looks like he has an Obstinate Bailoff. Doesn't look like he has that many lands. There's a Chandra in there.
I think there's 0 lands in that hand.
The hand is not looking good. I'm thinking I see at least 1. I think maybe 2, but it's looking like he has no acceleration, and that's gonna be problematic. But he's gonna keep it. He's on 6. He sees a land on top. Does he want to? Probably does, just to make sure to fill out his curve. I mean, Aaron's deck looks like it's a little bit. The curve is a little bit not consistent, so I would say that he could probably afford to keep it, but I guess he's going to put it in the bottom. I think he can hope to draw better, I guess. He's going to hope to draw a mana accelerant.
Here we go with the Forest into an Arbor Elf.
All right, he had to start last game. It was his best start in his deck, but sadly he wasn't able to follow it up. We're going to hope that this time he's able to go forth with a little more of a curve than last game.
Yeah.
Looks like the Bolt the Bird never ends.
The Bird.
I mean, that elf sadly did not make it. Well, now Mike's going to be probably in a little bit of trouble. He probably got to wish he kept that land now.
Yeah, he's got Stomping Ground tapped.
I mean, he has nothing else to fill out the script. Oh, he has another Arbor Elf, so that's pretty good. It looks like we're going to have a turn 3 Chandra if Aaron doesn't interact with this elf, which it looks like he can. But the question is, will he? And it looks like he is going to play a Lotus Bloom. Again, maybe Aaron's deck operating from a lot of different axes. It has cards like Lotus Bloom, and but it also has try to play a fair game, which is usually not the case when someone casts that card. Well, it looks like he bolted the elf, and that's not good for Mike. Mike needs the Mana Acceleration. Oh, Relic of Progenitus.
Okay,
that's a good card. It's going to help him, dig for another land, hopefully. It's looking like Mike's not going to hit it, unfortunately, and we might have another runaway here, folks. Do Monastery Swiftspear for the turn. Usually Monastery Swiftspear and Lotus Bloom are nowhere near the same deck, but Aaron is showing us that you can play anything you want in Modern.
What do we know, right?
And again, Mike's going to draw. It looks like he didn't hit his land that he needed to. Unfortunately, again, this Ponza deck doesn't have a lot of ways to come back once it starts fall super behind. And I think unless he also land next turn, this game might end up being over before it even begins.
Another lightning bolt for Aaron.
Looks like Aaron's going to be able to keep Mike off mana dorks for the remainder of the game. Though the good news is his pressure is not that great. But when that Petal comes off suspend, or the Bloom comes off suspend, it could be very problematic for Mike.
Bloom comes off suspend.
There it is. We're going to hope he doesn't have the 6-drop Sandra in his hand.
He has a prowess trigger on...
Is that a red Gear Hulk? No, that is a Handwar Battlements. Alright, that is a Chandra Tortured Defiance. And now I'm thinking this game's over. It looks like Mike's just going to call it a day. I don't blame him. His deck typically does not come back from these spots anyway.